Welcome everybody. Today we're going to be discussing because we have just been notified that we are going to be transferred to Shanghai, China in 6 months. So a few things we need to be aware of. First of all is their language. Since we know English and they speak Chinese, we need to accommodate for that. So we'll be giving some resources to help you learn the needed terms for such as business and other words that will help you communicate with them. And we need to make sure that we get the Shanghai dialect so we can understand them. Also, another thing is their climate. In Shanghai, it's generally mild and mist, so we should accommodate to it being rainy and bring umbrellas. And if you have sensitive skin or anything like that, make sure you get the products you need to accommodate to that. Another thing is the food. So we need to make sure that you get they have a wide range of, they don't always have a wide range of food. So we need to make sure that you bring whatever food you need or want, and that you're not allergic or really don't like the food there. And also for religion, we need to make sure that you can find where you're going for your religion and what other necessities and accommodations you need for that. And also for holidays, they don't have the same holidays as we do here in the US. Like their New Year is from January to February, and they don't do a lot of ours like Thanksgiving and Independence Days. So we may not get those days off over there, and we need to make sure that we understand their holidays and know that we get those days off. And now for more business aspects of this, we'll go over to Maddie.
Hi guys, okay, so one of the biggest thing is understanding the difference in the economy and the way they do things and stuff like that. So knowing the difference of how they work and other things like that is very important, and knowing the laws and governments, or the government. They have a very different government. We in the US do a federal, they have a unitary, and it's very different. So especially with laws about business, especially knowing what's illegal, what's not, stuff like that, and knowing your business etiquette and like your manners and stuff like that. So when it comes to what's rude here, it couldn't be rude there, and what's rude there could be perfectly fine here. So knowing what is appropriate and when you should use it and stuff. And like Abby was saying, going back to the holidays, we need to know what days we have off and what days we don't. So things like that, making sure you know when you have work and when you don't is very important. And then the exports and imports, they export a lot more stuff than they import. So things that you don't have, that you have here, you might not have there. So it's important to accommodate to that, and especially with like what I was saying, food, things like that, they don't import certain things. So knowing what they do and what they don't have, very important. And yes, and money, of course. Money is something you should know, like that the US dollars are very different from yen, and knowing how they transfer over, how much yen is a dollar here, or how much 1 yen is $1 here and stuff. So knowing all of that is very important, especially when you're closing a deal or making a deal. So things like that are important to know. Anything else, Abby?
Yes. So for their work week, they don't always have the weekends off as we do here. And so we need to make sure that we know which days we have off and what days, so that we can arrive at work when we need it. And also travel. We don't always get cars over there, and we don't want to pay all those big fees to bring our cars over there. So make sure you know how to get to work through walking and where the train stations are and buses, so that we can get to work on time. And also the time difference. We need to make sure that you adjust your sleep schedule and know what days we are over there, and be able to get your body adjusted to the time. And anything else, Maddie?
Knowing where things are located and how things work over there, like in the city-wise, because they probably set up things differently and stuff like that. And so knowing that stuff is very important as well. So
I know that there are a bunch of pros and cons to moving, but like some cons could be you have to learn a new language. They do a bunch of government things differently, and their etiquette could be differently. But a bunch of pros is that we could get better relations, and we could go more globally, get more business that way. And anything else, Maddie?
Having your passports up to date, guys, is very important, and if you don't have it by then, that is going to be a problem because you will not be able to come with us and relocate. So knowing that and having that up to date along with other things that are a necessity to move to another country, like you need a temporary work visa and things like that. So getting those, the company will be paying for like housing and stuff like that and any fees, but that is important, as well as updating your healthcare and updating and getting accepted for healthcare and insurance through our company over there. So knowing all of that, very important, and don't forget that side of things.
And don't forget that in China, they have a bunch of more things banned than we do in the US. Like they have Instagram banned, and Google is banned, and a ton of movies are banned.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure that we get the accommodations you need so that you can be all prepared to be able to go to work and have an enjoyable 5 years in China.
Yeah. Going back to banning things, China does not use Apple phones. So they make them there, but they do not use them. So if you have one, you're going to have to accommodate and maybe switch to an Android or their version of an Apple phone. So don't forget to do that either, because that's also very important. So yeah. That's all, you guys. Thank you so much. We will see you guys later.
We're all prepared.
Yeah.